Good morning. Boy, I did not. Hi, good morning. You were waiting. I did not do a nice, quiet, easy fade on the music. It was like, book, book, book. Um, Good morning. Happy Friday, TGIF. Yay. I'm not on my screen. Sorry. Hi. Uh, uh, Up. Upsy Chili? I'm not real Upsy Chili. Anyway, welcome everybody. We're going to spin on the Roberta. It is Black Welsh Mountain, which of course is a black fiber. I'm working on my black and white study, and I've been doing this for a couple days. I still have another white to spin, so I need to get spinning and get this done. I'll talk about stuff as I spin. Hi, All Crafty. Welcome, welcome. Everybody's ready to get their Friday started this morning, right? Or maybe get it over with so we have Saturday and Sunday. All right. See the black and white fiber right down there below me? That's what I'm working on. The black, I have a black and a white bobbin already. I need to do the other two. And then we're going to do a whole bunch of playing around with plying. So I have a specific project in mind for it. But each one of these bobbins is 4 ounces. So it's pretty much more than a one stream worth of spinning. However, this black spins really fast. Much faster than the white does. And it has to do with, it really wants to draft and be spun fast. So I'm running a little bit late this morning. Hubby and I were working through the grocery list, which part of that has to do with looking for the digital coupons that Kroger's puts out. So we were going through all that and doing that. I still haven't decided what day we're going to be shopping, except he doesn't want to do it today. So there's two possibilities. I could go do it by myself, and he stay home and do the mowing he wants to do. Or I wait until Saturday or Sunday morning. But both of those, Saturday morning I stream. Sunday I stream in the afternoon. This weekend is going to finish up the Tour de Fleece streaming. And then next week I will be back to my normal Tuesday mornings, Thursday evenings, and Sunday afternoons. Until I go on vacation, which is actually coming up pretty quick here, July 31st. So, at that time, then I'll be gone a couple weeks. We're not doing anything special. We're just going down Florida to be at my mom's house for a while. But man, we are going to be packed, coming and going. Lots of stuff being transported. Jane Wayne, good morning. Welcome, welcome. Got a cup of coffee here with me. Used the new coffee pot this morning. Washed it out good, but it still tastes new. That little bit of plastic fragrance. Unfortunately, I hate that because the water reservoir is plastic. Pot is not. Pot is a thermal pot, which we love. That's the reason we bought it again. I had the strangest experience with things looking not alike and alike. When we got the pot, and I got it all out yesterday to put it together, and I was getting the old pot ready to pack up and take down to Florida. So I had the two thermoses, but the new one was still in its plastic. And I looked at that and I said, well, my gosh, they've changed the design of the carafe, the thermal carafe. It's shorter and squat, shorter, wider. And so I went to show hubby, and he says, they're the same. I said, they don't look the same to me. He said, they're the same. So I took it out of the plastic and held them up side by side, and they're exactly the same. But it didn't look like it in the plastic. I was like, man. You were watching about the printer problems? Yeah. You got an Epson and you don't have a monthly sub, but ink is pricey. More than $24 a year. Yeah, more than the $24 that you get with a sub. I was buying the knockoff ink, but the printer would start saying it was empty after a while. Very interesting. Thank you for telling me that. I'm basically not going to cancel because the problem wasn't with the inks and them shipping as much as my printer won't stay connected online, so they don't get their continuous report of ink usage, which they use to monitor whether you need a new cartridge or not for your subscription, right? And I just cannot keep that printer online. Hey, look at that beautiful rose. Thank you. Anyway, that's the problem, right? So I don't get the ink, and I always have to call and tell them, hey, I need it. You figured out that the printer does an update because it's connected to the Wi-Fi. It changes the chip settings on the ink, so it rejects off-brand ink. Oh, that's why it wasn't taking it. So you just stopped connecting your printer to the internet. So no updates, so ink always works. Okay, well, but then when I run out of ink, they don't automatically send me ink ahead of time. This is the biggest problem. If you think about going and buying ink at your box stores, Best Buy or whatever, you can buy two, put one in, always have one on the shelf, and black I use up enough that it won't dry out. I won't do that for color. I used to, and I probably still can, go and look at the ink level, and I used to be always proactive about checking and keeping an eye on when I needed to go buy a color cartridge. But the black on this printer, I always wanted two, and they would only send one, right? I could never get them to send two. But other printers before that, that's what I would do. So, it still works, and I want to keep it online, but I have trouble. Anytime we lose our internet, anytime the electric goes off, just anything, it seems like we'll disconnect it. So, and like I said, I'm a little hesitant to buy a new one because the computer that I use here for streaming is on a landline, and that is why it won't talk to the printer. I think I almost need to have a printer that has a cord to plug in, but I don't have a whole lot of extra spaces for USB connections or whatever. Probably I'm not 100% sure there's a printer port on this computer. That would be ideal. If there was a printer port and I could get a printer with a connecting cord, that would work perfect. So right now, I'm alright. I appreciate the information though. I'm really glad you stopped by to let me know. Sorry, there we go. Got my chat not scrolling here. Yeah, you run out and you have to wait. Yeah. Good morning, Dan. Welcome. I am doing good this morning. I'm glad it's Friday. And silly. Every day is the same around here, but I like making Friday at least a mark point of, okay, we got a weekend and a new week will start. Got to keep track of the days somehow. Oh, come on. Keeps telling me it's paused because of scrolling. Maybe I need to... Maybe I need to post to get back in here. Let's do a little bit of dancing this morning. I am spinning Black Welsh Mountain, so it is naturally black fiber, and I have white that I am spinning. I'm going to do what I'm calling a black and white study, applying it different ways to get that contrast of black and white. The Black Welsh Mountain is not a soft yarn. It's not a soft fiber. It's coarse to moderate, coarse to moderate. But you just can't get a better natural black. Went to take a sip of your coffee. There's a mosquito in there. Oh, yuck. That's as bad as finding a fly. Oh, I think flies are worse, but I hate mosquitoes. They love me. Seriously, I reach a point every summer where I have so many mosquito bites. Because one time I'll go out and not spray because I don't think they're going to find me, and they do. They are so bad for you, yeah. It's worse when they get in the house because you can hear them. They're like little dive bomber airplanes, You can hear it. Where are you? Where are you gonna bite me? I never hear them outside. There's lots of noise with, birdsong and the traffic, and sometimes lawnmowers. It depends the time of day, but he already bit me and I tried to kill him. Oh no. He bit you and landed in your coffee? And you missed him. When you swatted him, you must have swatted him into your cup. Serves him right. Although, when I'm drinking a drink, glass of wine or something, I always joke about if something gets in there, well, at least they died happy. But not a mosquito. Sadly, I have decided not to go to the Ren Fair. Hubby is just kind of lukewarm about it. And, when he says, well, I'll go for you, it's like, okay, that's not really what I'm looking for. So, there are still more weekends of it, but we are, going to Florida, so we're going to miss it because of the being out of town. Speaking of coffee, you might have, but either way, he's dead. Yeah, the whole thing I learned out of that whole printer conversation with HP themselves when I called them was that I don't have to have a black cartridge in there, and the color cartridge will print if I request it. It goes into what it's called single cartridge mode, which to me it prints a kind of a light gray. It doesn't print a true black, but to me I'm almost like wonder if I just want to go ahead, and I hardly ever print anything in color, and I have another, I need to use it, right? I have another one. It's like, maybe I'll just use this color one up, and then when I get while I'm waiting for the other one, and then before I put in the black, make sure it's empty, and then put in both fresh black and color. So that's the plan. Kind of get back to start one for both of them. But like I said, I really do use the black way more than the color. It's good to know it'll work without the black in there. That's one thing Dan says I would like to try working with is an animal fiber yarn, but money and the fact that most animal fiber yarn is not available and thicker than sock weight, which I'm scared to try anything thinner than a worsted weight. Oh, hand spun will be thicker. That's true. The problem with hand spun is animal fiber, most commonly wool. Some people don't like wool, especially if it's something that's going to be touching their skin. So you have to like wool. And after that, the fibers that are not wool are even more expensive. Wool can be pretty inexpensive, but you get into alpaca, which is softer, or silk, which is more luxurious, then it gets real expensive for hand spun. Commercial yarn isn't as bad. Still never going to beat the price of acrylic because obviously that's the industry's entry-level yarn, right? It's very affordable. Intentionally very affordable. But I can tell when I'm knitting the difference between handspun and acrylic yarn. Now, obviously, most of the time I know it's handspun, but my point is there's a difference in how it feels in your hands when you're knitting. I've always called it organic. It feels alive. It doesn't feel dead, inert. And it's really hard to explain, but it's true. Animal farm in general. So, commercial wool, like, oh, shoot, can't think of the Lion Brand's wool, Woolies. You have not worked with that either? Usually they have it set up so it's washable. Is it, are you afraid of an allergy? Or are you just concerned because it may not be washable? Is it a cost thing? Or you just never had the opportunity? I know you like to knit blankets and afghans and, you know, um, and I agree, you don't want the sock weight unless you're knitting socks. This is, I keep calling it black because it is from Black Welsh Mountain, but the other day the AeroGarden light was very bright on it, and I had put this fiber on the table with that, and it looks so brown. It was really interesting. It Your eye in natural light perceives it as black, but in real bright light, it actually is brown. Um, I was like, look at that! It's brown. It wouldn't look brown though if I put it up against other brown fiber, especially dyed fiber. Maybe the Aerolite had some. Grow lights have different spectrums, so maybe it was a different spectrum of the grow light. I really didn't think about that till just now. Anybody have some fun weekend plans? This is one weekend we don't really have anything planned. We have to mow the entire bit that we mow this weekend. Hubby and I will tag team on that. He'll mow today, I'll mow tomorrow. or Sunday. I can mow better tomorrow because Sunday I stream in the afternoon. Although early evenings is fine as long as it isn't rainy. It's not really supposed to rain this weekend, so that's good too. You work with cotton and acrylic mostly as a cost thing, but also potential for allergies as allergy to wool runs in your family. There you go. Yeah, it's wise then. Man, I have so much knitting I need to do. Cannot make myself do it. Currently have on the hook a scarf and a blanket. I am thinking that this yarn that I'm spinning is going to end up, some of it's going to end up a scarf. I don't know if all of it, might need all of it. Depends on the yardage I get, but get a lot of it I'm planning to chain ply, and you get less yardage with that. The process takes up more yarn than just plying singles together does. But it makes a thicker yarn. I was looking at pet feeders this morning. I'm going to order it before we leave on our trip, so I have something that can put a larger protected amount. I'm hoping it will protect it for Twitch, the cat on the porch while we're traveling. My daughter comes out every other day. The porch cat, of course, is used to getting fed every day. It'll only be dry food, but, life is hard. You don't get canned food every day when we travel. But I just, one nice thing, I can put it up on a table, which sounds, like a no-no to train cats that way, but it is outside, and they're not predators, our consumers of cat food include possums, which would not get on the table, and raccoons, which would. Now, I haven't seen as many raccoons this year as I usually do. I've just mostly seen possums, so if I put it up on the porch, I at least protect it from one of the consumers. The cat, the yellow cat that we were thinking about trying to rehome, has disappeared. We have not seen it for a couple weeks, or since about a week. It's been about a week now that I think about it. Now, he's a tom, so he may be wandering and will come back through, but he, of course, is another consumer of the porch food if I put it out. It's not an ideal situation, but the little ones that I'm looking at are inexpensive. I can get one for water, one for food, and my only concern is that a raccoon would actually unassemble it or somehow chew through it or something. Because it's inexpensive, it's pretty lightweight plastic. Or carry it off. Oh, that would be something that would happen to me out here in the country, right? Raccoon just takes the food. Look what I found, Mom. Back to their den. Oh my gosh. And I'm even sorry I thought about that, but it is funny. Anyway, I'm just picturing a raccoon trying to carry a cat feeder in its mouth. Anyway, it's not easy. The best solution would be make Twitch a house cat. I would love to do that. The cats just refuse to make friends, and I could do it. The only way I could do it is to have a room. Basically, I would need a door on the kitchen. I don't have a kitchen door to the rest of the house because the kitchen is a build-on, and so it goes out it has doors out, but one door into the rest of the house, and I could block that with a door, and that would be the best solution. But I can't put a baby gate or anything like that. They just jump over it. That wouldn't work. And the kitchen is where the door inside and out for the cat door for inside and out is, right? So that would mean that Newman couldn't go out. He would have to stay in the house, and he didn't like doing that. He finds a way out that we never figured out how he's getting out, but he finds a way out and then he can't get back in. I believe it must involve someplace upstairs and going out on the porch roof somehow. This is old enough that one of the closets could have a crack or opening or something that we wouldn't know about. But he can't jump back up on the porch roof, right? He can go out but not back in. That is the closest I can figure that he does if he gets locked into the house more than 2 days. So it's a perennial problem, and right now the solution we have right now is the best. Let the cat door open let the cats come and go, and unfortunately, let the cats fight it out. I hate it, but it's going to happen. So I am going to do that. I'm going to open up the cat door this coming week, leave it open, and I'm hoping that Twitch stays on the porch, the yellow cat is gone for good, and Newman can come and go the way he wants to. We'll see. Cats were never a problem before. Never a problem. But we only ever had inside cats cats that lived inside but could go out and come back in. We never had those that were hanging around, strays. I can't get Twitch neutered until after like August 15th, towards the end of August. And that will only happen if she doesn't get pregnant again, which I'm pretty sure it's going to happen if I don't put her in the house. I want to get her neutered. It's just that the vet refuses to do it. Since until a certain period after they said the kittens are weaned. Well, the kittens didn't live, so I can count it from this week or last week, really. What people, who think that I'm irresponsible for not bringing that cat in and enclosing it in somewhere, feral cats they just don't get along with domesticated cats. They're territorial, even the females. And they're happier, of course. They're miserable if they're constantly having to be on guard because there's another cat around. I suspect eventually Twitch would grow older and settle down more, and especially after she's neutered. But it's a long process. My daughter is moving into a new place, and I was trying to talk her into taking Twitch, but it'd be the same thing. She's actually got 2 cats. One's a neuter male and one's a very old female. So, not sure another cat would be good for her. She's got a lot of friends in the extended community, and I said, well, just kind of keep her in mind, keep Twitch in mind if somebody might take a cat that could keep it indoors. There are times when, I look at Newman and I think, oh my gosh, he's getting up there in years. He's over over 12 years old. And then there are other times when I have to laugh because, like today, he was running up and down the stairs. He was chasing things all over the house. I mean, he was having his playtime. Kind of got my bobbin evenly distributed. It's doing a little bit of a wobble there. Hubby has been so used to. We were talking about when we're going into town. We are going uh, on Monday to see Mission Impossible, so we're going to be in town then. And he says, "Don't you have something to pick up at the auction?" He is so used to me always bidding on something on the auctions, and we run into town wherever that is, right, to pick it up. I haven't bought anything for about a month now. There hasn't been anything I was really, you know, there was lots of stuff I like, right? Nothing that I would have to rearrange but most of it I would have to rearrange my house, and, if it's a piece of furniture. I mean, there was a writing desk. I love the idea of a writing desk. But there's a piece of furniture that is from my great-great-grandfather. They bought it when they came over from Ukraine, early 20s to the United States. They brought it with them. So, or they got it when they came here. I'm not sure, but it's from them. And, it's supposed to be like a writing desk, but it's not really. It's just drawers and cubby holes, and it doesn't really have the place to put the thing down. It doesn't have that, right? It's good for storing all sorts of stuff. I love the cubby holes, and I've used it for years. But, I have that. I don't have room for another desk kind of thing. Definitely wouldn't work with anything like the entertainment center that we have our TV on, or this center that we have the computers set up with the monitor and all that, right? Hubby has a standard traditional knee-hole desk, and it's in this room with his computer on it. Again, not something I can replace. So I love it, and I look at it, and I don't bid on it. you know. I said earlier, but didn't really explain, when we go to Florida and when we come home, we're going to be packed to the gills. I am taking a sheet music cabinet down to Florida, so that's going to take up most of one half of where you fold the seat down and put it in there. Then we'll have 3 or 4 boxes of stuff that is for Mom's house, and then I'll be packing up at least 2 boxes of stuff for my brother. There is glassware that has the initial of our family last name. Of course, I don't have that name anymore because I'm married, but he does. And I said, I don't care what you say. I said, you're getting that glassware. You can do with it what you want, but, I'm at least giving it to you. So I have to pack that up. I'm going up to see him in September, when I go to the wool gathering to vend. And when I see him, so that's going down. Coming home, I am picking up some stuff for my brother, who is a drywall finisher. And there is evidently a friend of a friend whose grandfather is retiring from the drywall. He was still working in his early 90s, but has finally decided that he's not going to do it anymore. So my brother wants the equipment. He's settling with the family for the price for all of it. And guess who gets to pick it up and bring it to him? because I'm going to see him in September when I go up to Ohio. That's where he is. So I'm going to come back with a whole bunch of drywalling equipment. What state? I'm in Kentucky. I'm from Ohio, and my brother lives in Ohio, but I live in Kentucky. And my mother's home is in Florida. So when I talk about going to my mom's house, she's deceased, but we still own the house. That was her house. My brother and I use it as vacation home, mostly. Me more than him, because he's 12 years younger than me, so he's still working. Ooh, I guess I need to move my hook here. I did that on the other bobbin. This stuff spins so easy. I get to spin it and I forget to. Well, good morning. I thought maybe you finished your goal. Good for you. I thought maybe you'd be working. That feels good, doesn't it? Isn't that fun? Well, my goal will be done on Sunday. My goal was to stream every day, and I did, even the rest days. No, I didn't. I didn't stream the rest days. I didn't stream Monday. I lied. I thought I streamed the first Monday, though, but I can't remember now. Anyway. Not really a goal. I mean, the only time it really matters if you declare it and you are competing for one of the prizes. I really didn't want to do that this year. Do you plan on streaming more now? No, unfortunately. Back to usual schedule, yes. I'll be off. I'll be on Tuesday morning, and I'll hopefully go back to crafting on Tuesday mornings, Thursday evening, Sunday afternoon, just the 3 times a week until we go on vacation. Then I'll be off for a couple weeks. That'll be first 2 weeks of August. And then after that, back to the schedule again. You have the day off, and you went to the doctor and errands. Okay. Yeah, errands. There's always errands. We were doing our grocery list this morning and getting digital coupons, and it's quite a production, right? But it saves a lot of money, so I don't mind. Yeah, especially when you live in the country. Right. Hit the city and have to do it all. You are exactly right. It's exactly what we do. Except that we never do it all. We do, 2 or 3 things, and then, all right, we'll do this another day. Things take longer than we anticipate sometimes. But I'm not complaining. One of the nice things is it gets us out of the house. Hubby and I are together 24/7. And getting out of the house doesn't really break that, but at least it gets us in a different environment, right? Doing different things, and it's pretty important to make sure we go every, a couple times a week, just to be out of the house for something. Talking about, there's so much going on this Saturday. There is a food fair downtown with food trucks and all it's in an area that has a lot of restaurants. All the restaurants are doing special things. I wouldn't mind going to that. The Ren Fair, was another choice. I've decided not to do that. So, I don't know. That's one of the problems, is a lot of times all the things that are fun to do end up on the same day. Because, of course, they're scheduling for people that work. Makes perfect sense. But I will say, getting groceries is we stock up, and we go maybe twice a month, and it's pretty much all we do. We'll probably go, a lot of times we'll go out to eat first and have a lunch or whatever, brunch, and then we go to the grocery store. But that's pretty much all we do if we go grocery shopping. Don't want to have the milk hanging out in the car while we go do something else. Oh, it's break time. And it's good not to go hungry to the store. Yeah. Learn that rule early, don't we? Oh, I am so glad I don't have kids that I have to haul to the grocery store. I only took my grandson once when he was smaller. Never took him more than that. Daughter leaves him at home too with her extended family, because kids, that's. And I have heard some people say that their significant other is, the same way. They won't take them, but I will say my husband is penny pincher. So we don't do the impulse buys. Unless I sneak them in. I was eating a candy bar the other day, and he said, "Where'd you get that candy bar?" I laughed. I said, "Remember the time you sent me for lottery tickets? When I was all by myself?" I bought candy bars. Agreed. I get the worst stuff when you're hungry. Yeah. Yeah, and now Kroger's is doing digital coupons for people who are using pickup or delivery. We cannot get delivery. We're not close enough. But, I can do pickup where I go in and do the shopping online and then just go pick it up at a certain time. And they're doing digital coupons just for that. I had one of those in Clipped, and I was like, well, I can't use that. That's not fair. But you have to watch sometimes. They're not many, but they're it is nice that they're encouraging people to do that. Um, every time I go in shopping, I see the person going around with the order, right, picking up stuff. I used that when I had my knee surgeries. It was wonderful. So I'm all for it. It's normally $15. Every once in a while, somebody would a coupon would sponsor the pickup and say free pickup if you buy this product, right? So I usually did that, but once in a while, Kroger's would run a deal where the $15 was waived, and if I found that out, I would usually try and plan around that, but it was otherwise I could not walk around while I was recovering from each surgery, so did it a couple times. Hi, Veggie. Good morning. Yes, I did not win the $1 billion. What a sad thing. No Spinner's Library. That was amazing. I can't imagine. I just can't imagine dealing with that, but let's try. I'm willing to try. It was announced that somebody did. Yes, LA. Somebody in LA won it. Somebody's going to be moving to Beverly Hills. It's back to only 20 million now. The other one, the Mega Millions, is up to 700 something million. So it's been rising, but the Powerball was the one that was a billion. I haven't heard an announcement that's been claimed, but that's not unusual. Um, they don't announce it very often. Um, you do agree by purchasing a ticket. You agree to allow media uh, access, but you know, I don't know how hard the lottery people push for that, and they most certainly would. Even before, if you set stuff up before it's even claimed, you have better control over the process. From this is what they say, on news and stuff like that when they're talking about big jackpots. You most certainly aren't going to go down to your local 7-Eleven and cash the ticket. That is not how it's going to happen. This roving is shedding little bits. And it's all over the tile. And some on my slacks. With $1,000,000,000, you can afford to get a lawyer to get you out of that. Yeah. The final payout, if you took cash, was 60 million, and they figured 50% income tax, so you'd get 30 million. See, that's what's so deceptive, and it's so tragic that you think I'm going to win $1 billion. I just won $1 billion, and you end up with 40 million, right? And be upset, right?
When you're launching a new product with a tight deadline, 2 weeks? Grammarly's tone suggestions can help
Oh
motivate.
goodness. Yeah, I can't remember if the actual payout was pre-tax was 80 or 60. It probably was 80. And then 40 million. You know, if I was paying the government $40 million, I think I would personally deliver it with my list. Anybody else feel a little skeptical about handing $40 million over to the government? Let's not get in politics. I do try to avoid politics completely in streams. The world is political, and it is perfectly possible to have a good existence without discussing it. So, but yeah, I brought it up. My bad. The end of this roving is like pencil thin. It is just, it's like pencil roving. Yeah, I'll say one thing. Every time someone wins a mega jackpot, like 1 billion, the government actually wins. Yeah, I think you could get a meeting on the books. I like that. You think I could actually meet somebody important? Oh, goodness. It wouldn't be a White House aide. Government funding brought to you by the Yarn Spinners Tales Foundation. Has a nice ring to it. I am a very charitable person. My husband is not. It's amazing how many things we're opposites in. He's charitable within his family, absolutely, but not as far as, yeah, I don't mind paying my taxes because I know the government's going to do something good with it. You know, I'm willing to risk it that they will. He's not. He's like, oh, just not a the government deserves taxes person. So it just would be no end of anger to him if we ever won something like that. It just like, it's better off if we didn't play. But we do. For spinners like you, trademark. Oh. On this episode of Yarn Spinners, we take a field trip to the White House. I love it. Mr. President, have you ever felt wool? As I drag my sheep in behind me. Oh, goodness. No. All that money and he would still be mad about the government getting so much. I can understand that. Yeah, you got it. I bought a ticket for 1 billion and they really shorted me. Yeah, that's how it works. You're gonna have to live with your measly 40 million. I mean, consider this. The person that won that, they could be in the process of dissolving their marriage and their family, writing their family out of their lives. And, people can get crazy over money, can destroy lives. But, again, you still do it because you don't really expect that. Most people don't really expect that happening. They can only see the happily ever after. Which, of course, hubby and I would have if we won $40 million. I would absolutely insist. Well, after 26 years, I have learned to understand hubby's concept of money and how what it means to him and that sort of thing. And ultimately, it's not essential to have a lot of money. He is the kind of person who understands that that's not what life's about. And that's what we agree on. So, that's the important part. Still, so much money. Yeah, it was the year. Okay, there's two ways you'd try it. Sheep's eating classified. Oh, Veggie. Okay, here's the thing. There's two ways that you can get money. You can get it over 20 years. And your statistics, Jane Wayne, is more over the 20-year way. Okay. And most people don't want to do that. When I'm talking about what I'm talking about, which goes down a lot, is when they give it out immediately. Because what makes you they plan on you taking it over 20 years and it having the capability of earning interest. And so, you have to take it over the 20 years. Well, I would, but you don't hear much about a lot of people doing it, right? Take it, get it all dealt with as far as taxes, because think about it, 20 years of tax headaches, or, it just, a lot of people don't want to wait that long, and don't, right? All right, 2 bobbins of black done. 1 more bobbin of white to go. Let me put these somewhere out of the way. Find another bobbin. Alright, that's extra black. I'm not going to spin. This is the white. And I want to change towels here. I really need to clean this one up from the black stuff. I don't want it in my white fiber. Have you noticed that a lot of places are doing Christmas in July? You're hearing Christmas music this month? I've, like, I think part of it is because we have Sirius XM, and hubby listens to the old radio shows that are on there, and they've been doing all of the Christmas old radio shows. And it's nice. I mean, Christmas is, it comes and goes, and sometimes there's a lot of stuff related to Christmas that we don't get to in the Christmas season. Hallmark is running Christmas movies, which I can't stand, but hubby watches. He just loves a happy ending. Okay. It's too soon. It is. I don't even want to think about it. I have a friend that is so well organized. She buys a Christmas present a month. She budgets for it. She's on a very limited income. Both her and her husband are disabled. So, to help her limited budget, it's a wonderful idea, but I'm like, oh man, I'm not sure I could remember where I put them if I bought them that early. It is flying by. That's a sign of a happy life, Guitar Nut. Busy and happy. For those of you who did not catch my monologue at the beginning, if you see the Tour de Fleece Day 21 and wonder why I did it that way, I've counted every single day since July 1st. I'm basically using the day's date because I have streamed every day. Or I'm sticking with the actual day of the month, and that is not what the stages are. I used to try to keep with the stages when I was streaming during Tour de France, but I gave up on that. So it's more my own numbering system, but it does look kind of weird because it looks like the tour should be over, and I know it's not till Sunday. I included the 2 rest days in the counting. Yeah, I did not stream the Mondays. I didn't think I did. I'm really looking forward to doing something other than spinning. Been trying to think what would scratch my itch and make me feel super happy about doing something other than spinning. I haven't put my finger on it yet. Um, Hubby and I are taking a Lego kit to Florida. It is 3 small Christmas decorated houses, because we have the gingerbread house, and so we bought this Christmas themed houses Lego kit for putting with that gingerbread house during Christmas. Right now, the gingerbread house has been sitting on my table all year. I love it so much. But most of the time, Christmas decorations, of course, get put away and brought back out. Anyway, we're going to do that when we're in Florida. Kind of looking forward to that. I really enjoy it, but it's something hubby and I can do together. But what really happens is I'm reading the book, sometimes finding the pieces, and he's doing the putting together, unless there's multiple. A lot of times there's multiple that have to be built the same way, and then we each can build it. But still, it's nice. It's something we can do together. Do it out in the screened patio room and give the neighbors something to talk about when they come in and say hello. You know what those young kids are doing? We're young kids down there. Kind of makes it sound dirty, doesn't it? Oh, I love jigsaw puzzles too. Hubby can't do it with his vision. So I do the jigsaw puzzle by myself. And you know that my mom's house has become a solution to that problem too, because I never have had a place I can roll it up in a felt mat, and I have one here, but in her house there's nobody living there, and there is a table out in the glass, what is the glass add-on. It has jealousy windows all around, and there's your standard what am I trying to say, porch table, round with two chairs out there that Mom used to sit at all the time with her laptop to play her games on the computer, but I don't use it for that. I have a puzzle in there, and I can just leave it. And I finished one last time we were down. Now I've got one that's I'm just starting and working on. I have some really old jigsaw puzzles that came from my maternal grandmother's house, and it has dates jotted on there as to when it was last put together. It was put together multiple times. It's so faded, it almost looks black and white, or it's not. It's definitely from like the 50s and 60s, somewhere in there. I forget what the dates are, but it's pretty cool. It has the dates on there that they put it together. That I am considering putting together and, using the paste and framing it. I haven't quite figured out if I want to or not yet, but did I offend you, Veggie? You're the only one that got the joke, I think. Which I'm not going to say what that means, what that says. But yeah, we're considered young people down there. There is there is a couple that's close to our age, or maybe just a couple years older. He is our regular lawnmower man, so he mows our property, like the land there, around Mom's house, and he's capable of working, in other words, and does. So we're really not the only young people. If hubby had not had his stroke, I'll tell you what, he could have had all the work he wanted to. He was repairing appliances, and he got a call yesterday from somebody that he had done, repaired before, and they kept his name. He has to tell him he can't do it anymore. He'll work on his own, our appliances, but the liability, risk, and all that, it's better if he doesn't work on somebody else's. On his own, he had a appliance repair company backing him up, right, when he was doing it, so he wouldn't have that anymore. And he's supposed to be retired. We're retired. but he misses it. Yeah, yeah. He, it is. Men, in many ways, are so driven by what they do, is who they are, and he's no exception. But he knows his limitations. Um, he as soon right after he had his stroke, he stopped driving, and because it only affected his vision, didn't affect his motor skill or his speech. His his brain was slowed down a lot right after the stroke, but it definitely got better by eight 8 months or so after it. He that didn't show up anymore. So it was just the trauma of the stroke, I think. All right, I gotta get this wheel some oil. I oiled the shaft before I put the bobbin on, but I think I need to oil up here by the where it's rotating, by the orifice. All right, oil. Okay, I'm gonna do 6 more of these. These 3 and 2, 3 more from the other side, and then I think I'll see if there's somebody I can raid. Being Friday and all. Man, the other day there were so many of the people that I follow on Twitch yesterday during the day. I was like, what is it with Thursday? But of course, I'm on Thursday evening, so I was really surprised. All right. Wow. Okay, I oiled that. Now it's zipping like crazy, but not pulling in. It's like, hoo-hoo, I can go fast. There we go. think I'm going to try and make cherry limeade today. I've got limes I can juice, and I have a cherry syrup that I bought that I thought I'd use in cocktails more, and I don't, but it's perfect for, instead of robbing the maraschino cherry liquid out of the jar, it's really good for that. These are all non-alcoholic, of course. And I have lime juice in a bottle too, but I forget where I forget why, but I bought some a bag of limes, a bag of lemons when I was at the store last time. It's a good summer drink. My favorite is to get it from Sonic, but you know, I can make it at home. But if I want it sweet, I put 7-Up in it. If I don't want it sweet, I put club soda in it. Veggie, when are you streaming next? I'm going to give you a shout out. I think you're the only one on that streams. I don't know. Jane Wayne, do you stream? Let me see here. Where am I? Alright. That didn't get me anything. Yeah, Veggie streams. That's... She spins. And, so... I always forget to do shout-outs. But... Okay, thank you. Jane. I don't want to miss anybody. GuitarNet says he's going to. He's going to play his guitar for us, but, you know, I haven't talked him into it yet. Did I spell that right? I did. There you go. Who else is here? All Crafty me. And Holly, I don't think. Upsync Shelly, I don't know about you. Anybody else, just holler. I'll give you a shout out. Would be happy to. I just, unfortunately, don't know. I do, of course. You said it, not me. I know. That's how it works, right? I just keep saying it. Oh, you do? Oh, okay. That's cool. I do too, and it's not on Yarn Spinner's Tales, right? It's a different name. I was a different person when I first did YouTube. YouTube has been around for so long that, yeah, I was a totally different, doing different things. But I am archiving the streams on that now. I'm having difficulty keeping a link to it. I may not have an active link to the YouTubes where they're archived, because for some reason the link doesn't seem to want to continue to work. I haven't checked it for a while. Wishcast? Never heard of that one. I may not have the footballs. We'll see. It didn't tell me. I must have. Alright. Where's my Twitch channel? Let's check my links here. No, I don't have it on there. I could never get a YouTube that would work. So I have Discord, podcasts, my blog, and the Spinner's Journal. I really can't get a link to... Where is it here? My videos. I'm not sure why. Maybe it'll work better if I use the dashboard, which has go-to videos on there. That might work better. I can try that. All right. Okay, I would appreciate that. If you're willing to share, I'd love it. I got Wishcast. Yay, what? I can't even say it. It was a few years ago, playing a duel with your friend. I like that, too. And it's acoustic, right? Or is it electric? I don't care. I'm just curious. Anyway, thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, I'll mess around with my links, with the link for YouTube too, also for the archived ones. Although anybody working through the podcast, they don't have time for that too, I'll tell you. Podcasts take a while. So do streams. You know, they're not all public. I'm archiving all of them, but they're not all public. Sometimes the streaming got interrupted, and it's, you know, I don't like multiples in a public. So anyway, I'm putting the ones that I feel will be the most, or most educational, you know. But of course, streams are way different than podcasts, because the podcasts were specifically educational. Streams are not. They're entertainment. I spin an entertaining yarn. Ta-dum-dum. Okay. Oh, okay. Working on an album's cool. Oh, a standard cartoon I saw. A cartoon I saw, which was probably in Saturday Evening Post. It was that kind of cartoon, right? But it was a say obvious salesman talking to a man and a woman, and he's pointing to this, and he says, "And this is a policy for if your child becomes a musician." In other words, I'm not going to have any money and living with you, and oh well, on and on. Sorry, Guitar Nut. See, you got it. And then, it stuck in my mind because my other life, my first marriage, he was a musician. So he played bass, upright bass, as well as keyboard. But he was mostly a composer. He was forever writing music. He wrote a lullaby for my daughter. Every musician that has a child I have heard will write a lullaby for their child. Unfortunately, I don't have it anymore. When we separated, I think it went with him. And I don't know that he ever passed it on to my daughter. I'm not sure he even thought about it. I really don't know. I totally forgot to ask her about that before he passed away. So, it's probably gone. Anyway, life with a musician is different in some ways and not in others. He was also an IT. That was his day job. Worked in early computing from when we were in college in 75 and 76. He was taking computing, very early computing classes. Alright, I'm going to finish these 3 and I'll go see who's streaming. Anybody have any suggestions, just let me know. His sister, my first husband's sister, was a dancer, and so was her husband. They actually worked for Disney. He worked for Disney as a choreographer. She was mostly assistant, but they had a dance studio together too, so very creative family. His mother was a writer, and His father passed away real early, so I don't know much about him. And his stepfather was a doctor who probably was the one supporting everybody's creativity. I'm going to save one of these and spin it after we raid. Just because I want to sit here for a little bit. Don't want to start more. I'm surprised I'm not hungry. I'm not yet. As soon as I say something, I'll probably wake it up. This merino does a long draw so well, except I got too thin there. Alright, I've stopped anyway. I gotta change my hook. I'm gonna stop the music and let's see here. We got Dragon Rider Cat is spinning, Angelic Dreamer, knitting obviously up to the neck. Calyx Creative is loom knitting. Cross Stitch Woman is of course doing a cross stitch. Ooh, Black Sheep Meat. Looking at who's new here. There's a leather maker, keyboard builder. Ooh, somebody's doing a road trip. Sheep, sheep, and sheep and glitter. Okay, let's go see what 999 Pickle Puss means by that. Alright. Gotta plug in so I can hear it. You gotta
remove background. Try a different blending mode. Divide. Looks cool. Let's make these ellipses weird. Transform, then warp and click around a bit. Beautiful. Okay. That took like 30 seconds.
She's running a GoFundMe.
Hello? Come on, someone needs to get in the pool.
Alright, she is doing paper crafts. That
Get
is
in the pool. Get in the pool. Get in the
not
pool.
what I want.
Tank, no. No.
I think it was like last weekend when I was hanging out with some friends on their stream, and we were playing Mario Kart, and literally every time between races, I was like, I really want to try to finish this earmuff soon, because, you know.
Okay. Calyx Creative is doing a loom knitter, and I don't know if you all have seen loom knitting, but it's a really good camera work. It's a good way to see it. So, she's funny, loud but funny. All right, but I'm gonna go to Calyx Creative because she's doing the loom knitting. This time I'm going to remember to copy my raid call. Thank you everybody for hanging out with me today, this morning. I appreciate it. I really do. And I am going to be back tomorrow morning, same time. Same fiber. And hopefully I'll finish it. And Sunday I'll try the plying. Jane, you have a great weekend too. Everybody else, happy Friday. Enjoy the start of your Friday evening fun. So I am going to go raid. Come along with me, say hello. And I will see you later. Bye.